Okay, I am live this morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I'm having a little issue here this morning. So let's see what we got going on here. I'm trying to set this up. When you come on, type in good morning. Let me know that you are there as I try to set this up. Okay, let's see what we got here. Okay. All right. If you're there, say good morning. Let me know that you are there. Okay, let's see. Let's try it a different way. Good morning. Good morning. Type in good morning so that I'll know you're there. I am in my car. I'll tell you the story in a minute why I'm in the car, but right now I'm trying to get this set up. Hey, Janice Taylor. When you come on, type in good morning as I'm sitting in my car this morning. Who else is watching? Let's see, Janice. Type in good morning. I'm sitting in the car. It's supposed to be in the studio. Stephanie's watching, but the studio is locked. I haven't heard from anybody. So I'm like sitting in my car. I'm not going to complain though, because here's the thing. It is warm in the car. So when you come on, type in good morning. Let me know that you are there. It is Sunday morning. You have the power. Again, I'm sitting in the car because I got up and drove to the studio, to be live on the radio, and the door is locked. There is no one there. But the show, we do our thing anyway, because that's what we do. So I'm sitting in the car. Type in good morning so that I'll know you're there. Angela is watching. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Sunday morning. I am here on my phone, so I won't be able to go on Instagram this morning because I'm sitting in my car. I got up and drove to the studio so I could be on the radio, and the door is locked. I haven't heard from anyone. But I said the show must go on. Anyway, what I didn't want to do, I did not want to come into the You Have a Power group because you know me. If I'm not going to be available, I always post in advance. And because I hadn't done that, I had just decided I'd just sit in the car and just do coffee talk. So, that's how we are. We're women. We're flexible. We make it work. So as you come on, say good morning. Let me know that you're there so I can give you a shout out because I appreciate you so much getting up and joining me. And it's a blessing to be able to get up and connect with you. So one of the good things about getting up this morning, I got on the highway. So even though I got here, the studio is locked, I can't get in, nobody's there, at least I got on the highway this morning. So yeah, so that's a good thing about it. So I'm not going to complain that I have to sit here in the car in the parking lot and do coffee talk because I can't get into the radio show because nobody's there to let me in. Hey, Ubong. Ubong's in Nigeria, but she's watching. So good morning, ladies. Thank you so much for getting up and joining me this morning. I appreciate you. So as you come on, let me know that you're there so that I can give you a shout out. This is the best part of my morning. Of course, sitting here in the parking lot is not so great, but like I said, I'm not going to complain because at least it is warm and I have my car and I have my phone, so I am still able to come on and do the You Have the Power talk this morning. So I'm going to go ahead and get started because I don't want to keep you too long and I don't want to sit in this parking lot too long either. But welcome to the You Have the Power. Thank you so much for getting up and joining me. I appreciate you. And yes, I'll say it again. I'm sitting in my car because I got up this morning, got on the highway, which was great. I did get on the highway. So yay, I'm giving myself, I'm encouraging myself to keep getting on the highway. And then I got here and the studio is locked and I can't get in. But this morning, I'm going to spend just a few minutes talking about don't lose sight because we've been talking about change, new beginnings, beginning anew in 2022. So I thought today I spent just a few minutes talking about don't lose sight. So keep your vision in front of you. Keep your eyes on your vision. So if you started the year with the vision, with the plan, pursuing your dreams. Keep your vision in front of you. Keep your eyes on your vision. And if you haven't started as of yet, what I wanted to be able to do is just talk through that a little bit and some of the obstacles that you may face or may be facing, which may be preventing you from starting. So again, as you come on, say good morning. Let me know that you are there. So I was thinking about vision. I was thinking about pursuing your destiny. And I was thinking about the road trip. And I've used this analogy before. If you're planning a long road trip, you create a plan to get you to wherever it is you're going, to your destination. And you think through and map out all the details, right? Even though you may use your phone, Google Maps, you still map out all the details. First, you determine the number of miles, and this is not necessarily in any order, but you may determine the number of miles it will take you to get to your destination. And then you think about gas, miles per gallon. How many miles are you going to get per gallon? Then you consider the number of hours per day you're going to drive, because remember, you've planned this road trip. So you're thinking about all the details, which is part of your preparation. So you consider the number of hours you're going to drive per day and the number of miles per day. You even map out the hotels, when and where you're going to sleep. And you keep this map available. You keep this detailed plan available as you travel, because you want to make sure you stay on course. And during this road trip, there may, even if you start out, there may be some unexpected circumstances, some in your control and maybe some out of your control. Things like car trouble. You may get ill. Bad weather, and there may be even some detours on the road, but you keep going. So even if there's car trouble, it may cause you a delay, but you have the car repaired and you keep going. You may get ill, and if you do what you need to do to get better, and you keep going. If there's bad weather, you may have to be delayed or wait until it passes. And even if there's a detour, you follow it and get back on path. So although all of these circumstances may cause a delay, you keep going. You expect to arrive at your destination at some point, because you embarked on this road trip with the plan, with the expectation to arrive at your destination. And because of delays, you may not arrive at the time you had expected to, because you planned it out, remember. But needless to say, you remain committed until you reach your destination. So I was thinking of that and using that as it relates to pursuing your dreams, what it is you desire. You have a vision, a mission, or a destiny. You create a plan. You create strategies to achieve what you desire. And you map it out. You map out the details, all the details, actionable steps, resources you may need. But what happens when your emotions show up? Fear and anxiety. Your vision is right there in front of you, but your emotions show up. And the fear is paralyzing you. It's stopping you from pursuing what it is you desire. Well, first and foremost, know that you're not alone. It's not uncommon for your emotions to show up, especially if you're going beyond your comfort zone. Most of us will experience fear or emotions. It could be anxiety when we go past our comfort zone. Think about that. So anytime that we step out to do something that maybe we've never done before or is past our comfort zone, fear will try to attach itself to us. And fear will harass and dominate our lives if we allow it. If we don't move forward and feed the fear, and I've talked about this so much, it can imprison us. And as a result, we live a life of status quo. And the reason I wanted to talk about that today, because some of you right now may be planning to or want to make changes in this new year, but you're afraid to move forward. And I've been talking about new beginnings, beginning anew in 2022. So I wanted it to come back and just revisit fear. Because like I said, some of you right now may be planning to or want to make changes in this new year, but you're afraid to move forward. And you're allowing fear to paralyze you. And as you think about it, think of what you have avoided, because of fear. Think about that. And if you're just joining me, yes, I'm sitting in my car because I arrived at the studio, couldn't get in. So you know us, you know women, you know how we roll, you know. So I'm sitting in my car in the parking lot doing coffee time. So if you're planning right now or want to make changes, but you're afraid, think of what you have avoided doing because of fear. But here's the thing. You're not alone. There's so many of us will experience fear when we go past our comfort zone. And many of us experience fear and we allow it to dominate. However, we must all learn to do what we need to do if there's something that we want to do that's important to us. So if you're considering making changes in this new year, and if it's really important to you to do so, then you need to learn how to work through the fear. So of course, even with my own fear as it relates to driving here, right? So I did a little bit of research, I did. So what is fear? Now, we all know what fear is. We know what it feels like, but I just did a little research to define it. So fear is an unpleasant emotion caused by the belief that someone or something is dangerous, likely to cause pain or threat. Fear is one of the emotions experienced by everyone around the world. So know that you're not alone. And what makes us fearful? Of course, I wanted to do a little bit more research, so I did. Fear rises when the threat of harm, either physical, emotional, or psychological, real or imagined. So fear arises with the threat of harm, either physical, emotional, or psychological, real or imagined. While traditionally considered a negative emotion, fear actually serves as an important role in keeping us safe as it mobilizes us to cope with potential danger. So if you know that someone's going to harm you, right? So fear can actually serve as an important role. And there are different triggers of fear. You can Google them. But what I want to shift to now is talk a little bit about how can we address fear. Because if you are right now, if you want to make changes in the new year, or you're planning to, but you're hesitating because of fear, let's talk about how we can address fear. So first of all, don't be in denial about fear. Admit it. If you are fearful of making changes, admit it. Because you can't, and I said this last week, you can't change anything that you won't confront. So face the fear. Identify your fear. What are you afraid of? Then be with it. Sit with your fear. What is that thing? They taught us in coaching school, and I may screw this up. What is it that you can't be with, but be with? So sit with your fear. Think about it. Think about what is it that you are afraid of. Then try to get to the root cause. What is the root cause of this fear? What is the story you are telling yourself about why you can't overcome this fear? What is the story you're telling yourself about why you can't overcome this fear? Just doing that could have a great effect on overcoming fear in a way that is productive and effective. So be with it, sit with it, think about it. What is it that you're afraid of? What is the root cause? Talk about it, talk through it, share your fear. Try to understand what's driving it. What's the root cause? What is the story you're telling yourself? If I do this, what's going to happen? What are you telling yourself? Is it real? Or are you imagining it? Understand it. Because if you don't be with it, sit with it, face it, if you're in denial about it, it can imprison you. So think about that. And believe that no harm will come to you. No threat of harm, either physical, emotional, or psychological, real or imagined. Believe that no harm will come to you. You have to believe it first, that no harm will come to you. And every time you think of the fear, be conscious, shift your emotions to positive ones. Think of the desired outcome. And if you need help to address the fear, then seek it. But don't let it imprison you. And surround yourself with positive support, people that you can talk through it with. And draw on your strengths. Because if you think of the other challenges you've been through and made it, draw on your strengths. So if you are thinking about making changes, or if you want to make changes in the new year, this year, 2022, and if you're allowing fear to paralyze you, don't be in denial about it, first and foremost. Address your fear. Admit it, face it, identify your fear. Be with your fear, sit with your fear. Talk about it, talk through it, understand it. Believe there is no harm that it will bring to you. No threat or harm, either physical, emotional, or psychological, real or imagined. Believe. Shift your focus to positive outcomes. So when you think of the fear, think of the desired outcome. Seek help if need be. Surround yourself with positive support and draw on your strengths. Think of the other challenges you've been through and made it. Those are some ways you can address fear. And I want to encourage you, as I am encouraging myself, not to allow fear to hold you hostage any longer. If you have been allowing fear to hold you hostage, do not. I'm encouraging you not to allow fear to hold you hostage any longer. Don't allow fear to rule or dictate your life, to keep you from doing what you know you should do. Think about what you want to achieve. Meditate on it. What does it look like? What does it feel like when you achieve what it is you desire? What will that feel like? And know that when you move forward, despite of fear, your courage will grow. It takes time, though. When you face your fears, you rule over them, then you won't be deprived of your destiny. You will begin to see the fulfillment of many of your dreams come to pass. It's your choice. We talked about choices last week. And think about this. You have a lot of choices to make each day, all day long. You make choices. Each day we begin with a choice. And the choice we make sets us up for the next choice we have to make, and the next one, and the next one, and the next one. And that's how patterns develop and habits form with the thousands of choices we make each day. So if you choose today to let fear win and not pursue your destiny, then the next choice you make will probably not support achieving what it is you desire. So if you're choosing fear, then fear will rule you. You can choose to reject fear and the hold that it has on you. You can choose what you allow into your spirit. Every morning, you can choose to be intentional with your thoughts. Again, it doesn't mean things will be easier, because change takes time. So it doesn't mean the fear is going to disappear overnight. Because remember, and I thought about this, and that's why I wanted to talk about fear. Remember last week, I chose to get on that highway to drive here to the radio studio. If I didn't choose to get on the highway last week, I probably would not have gotten on the highway today. If I had chosen last week to take the side street, I probably would have taken the side street today. So if I didn't address the fear last week, remember I said one choice leads to the next choice and the next choice and the next choice. Yet each decision is powerful enough to chart a new course. So I made the decision last week to get on the highway. I was fearful. I was praying the entire way, but I did it. And when I left the studio, I had a choice again, whether to go back home on the highway or take the side roads. Now, you knew I was tempted to take the side roads, but I prayed and I got on the highway. I got on the highway this morning. I still had the fear. It wasn't as bad, though, I must admit. It was not as bad. But I made the choice today to get on the highway. And what I noticed today, but maybe I got on a little bit later, I don't know, it wasn't quite as dark. All of a sudden, I could see a little clearer. So I felt a little better, but the nerves, they're still there. And I'm going to take the highway back. So I just use that as an example, how one choice can lead or impact the other choices you make. So if I had made the decision to get on the highway last week, if I had made the decision not to, get on the highway last week, fear would have been ruling me. It would have been dictating my choices, following. I wouldn't have gotten on this week. So I just use that as an example. And I just want to share something I read with you really quickly. I read this. Our choice is the greatest power we hold, the most abundant gift we have been given. What we choose to do with it today determines where we abide, whom we serve, and whether or not we live a life of abundance. So our choice is the greatest power we hold, the most abundant gift we have been given. So you can choose to pursue what it is you desire. Believe for what you are believing, to achieve what you desire. Dare to dream. Dare to dream the impossible dream. So think about it. If you want to make changes in 2022, begin anew in 2022, have a plan, a roadmap, so to speak, and follow it. Make adjustments if you have to, but keep going. Put in the work and work to remove all self-imposed limits. I was going to read from Just Leap, but I'm not going to do that. Like I said, I'm sitting here in my car in the parking lot. But if you have Just Leap, there's a message in there. Let's see what page is on. At least I can tell you that. It's a great message that will help you. Let me just tell you where it is. It is on page 14, Get Out the Way. So if you have Just Leap, there's a great inspiring message that will help you move forward. Again, Just Leap, page 14. So that's Coffee Talk. Well, I should say You Have the Power because I changed the name, but that's You Have the Power this morning. I'm so glad you got up and joined me. Again, I'm sitting here in the parking lot, but all is well. I wasn't able to go on to Instagram, so I'll have to post that. I'll post this on Instagram, but I did not want to not come on in the You Have the Power group because, again, you know me, if I'm not going to be available, I always post it in advance so you will know. But thank you for getting up and joining me this morning. I don't think there's any comments here, but I appreciate you getting up and joining me and watching. You know that. And just keep in mind that if you allow fear to rule, it will rule you. And if you've been thinking about making changes in the new year and you're afraid for whatever the reasons are, try to get a understanding of what's causing the fear. Now, I'll tell you, I don't know what's causing the fear for me for getting on the highway, But in my mind, as I started thinking about it realistically, I was saying, well, Eva, the highway is not going to disappear. It's not like you're going to be driving and all of a sudden the highway is going to disappear. That's not going to happen. So I'm trying to rationalize and understand the root cause. It just happened one day. I was driving and all of a sudden I had this anxiety. I do think it's because I hadn't been on the highway in a long time. And then I stopped getting on the highway. So I was feeding the fear. And now I've decided, I'm still taking one day at a time now. So this is why I'm talking about it, because I'm talking through it, with you. I'm sharing it with you. And I still, have the anxiety, but it's not as bad. So I'm thinking that if I continue to get on the highway, before you know it, I'll be like the other cars out there flying and won't have any anxiety at all. So I'm working through it, and I encourage you, if you have any fear, to work through it as well. So that is the You Have the Power this morning. I am going to head back home, have a full day today, but I so appreciate you getting up and joining me this morning. Whatever you're doing today and the rest of the week, love and blessings to you and your family. I will see you back here next Sunday. Have a great day. Bye.